The night my sister disappeared, the entire city lost power. No lights, no internet, no calls, only darkness and rain. I was standing on the balcony, watching the sky explode with lightning when my phone vibrated once and then died. That single vibration changed my life forever, because the message was only 3 words: she is taken. I ran inside screaming her name, but her room was empty, her bed untouched, her shoes still by the door. My chest felt like it was tearing apart. My sister never went anywhere without telling me. Never. I searched the entire house, the street, the nearby park. Nothing. Then I saw it. A small red thread tied to the gate. A thread she used when she was scared. A signal only I understood. That meant danger. Real danger. I followed the thread trail through dark streets and flooded roads. Every step felt heavier than the last. Fear wrapped around my throat. The trail ended at an abandoned hospital, a place sealed for 15 years after a mysterious fire. No one dared to enter, but I did. Inside, the air smelled of rust and old blood. Broken beds lay scattered, walls covered in burned shadows, and on the floor a symbol drawn in chalk, the same symbol from my childhood nightmares. I froze, because I had seen that symbol before. The night my parents died, that memory exploded inside my head. Flashes of fire, screams, and a man with a silver ring. I stepped deeper into the darkness, calling my sister's name. My voice echoed through empty halls. Then I heard it, soft breathing, not far away. I followed the sound until I reached the old operating room. The door creaked open. Inside sat a man in a wheelchair, his face hidden in shadow. He slowly raised his head and smiled. "Welcome back," he whispered. "We have been waiting for you." My blood turned to ice, because I knew that voice. It belonged to the man who killed my parents. And now he had my sister. I demanded to know where she was. He laughed, a dry, broken laugh, and said, "This is not about her. This is about you." Then the lights flickered on, revealing dozens of faces surrounding me, all wearing the same silver ring. The past had returned, and there was no escape. He told me the truth, that my parents were not victims. They were guardians, protectors of a secret that could destroy nations. And that secret lived inside me. I refused to believe him, but he placed a cold metal device against my neck. Suddenly memories flooded my mind. Hidden memories, locked memories. I saw experiments, children in glass chambers, doctors screaming, my mother crying, my father begging, and myself standing in the center, surrounded by light. He said I was created, not born, designed to hold information no human could carry. A living vault. That was why they hunted us. That was why my parents died. That was why my sister was taken. To force me to awaken. I collapsed to my knees. Reality shattered. Nothing was real anymore. Not my life. Not my memory. He said once I accepted who I was, the world would never be the same. And neither would I. They activated the device. Pain exploded through my body. Every nerve burned. Every bone screamed. And then silence. I woke up somewhere else. A white room. No doors. No windows. Only mirrors. Hundreds of mirrors. And in every reflection I saw a different version of myself. A child. A soldier. A scientist. A monster. A hero. All of them me. All of them real. The truth unfolded. My mind contained centuries of knowledge. War strategies. Cure formulas. Energy secrets. Weapons beyond imagination. That was the secret. Humanity hidden inside a single soul. Mine. They wanted to control me, to own the future, but they underestimated one thing. Love? The love for my sister. That bond shattered their control. I broke free. Alarms screamed. Walls collapsed. Fire consumed the corridors. I fought through shadows and smoke, searching for her, calling her name, until I found her locked in a steel chamber, weak but alive. We escaped together as the building crumbled behind us. The world above was burning, cities in chaos, satellites falling. nations collapsing, all because the secret had awakened. I realized then that I could never return to a normal life. I was no longer just a brother. I was a guardian, a weapon, a threat, and a hope. The future of humanity rested on a choice only I could make: to destroy the knowledge or to change the world. I looked at my sister, at her trembling hands, at her tear-filled eyes, and I chose to protect, to fight, to become what I was created to be. Because some stories do not end in peace, they begin in war. We ran through the burning streets as the sky cracked open with thunder. Every step echoed with fear and urgency. The world we knew was collapsing. Sirens screamed. Buildings shook. People ran in every direction. No one understood what had been unleashed, but I did. Inside my mind, the knowledge burned brighter than the fires around us. Every secret, every formula, every weapon, every cure, all of it alive inside me. I could feel the pull of satellites falling from orbit, the tremble of power grids failing, the silent panic of leaders who no longer controlled their own systems. They were searching for me. Every government, every shadow organization, every secret agency. The hunters had become desperate, and desperation makes monsters. I led my sister into the underground tunnels beneath the city. Old transport lines abandoned decades ago. There we hid among darkness and dust. She clutched my arm, her voice shaking. "What are you now?" I had no answer, because I was everything they feared and everything they needed. Days passed without sunlight. We survived on stolen supplies and silent movement. Every night I saw visions, possible futures, possible wars, possible endings. In some I destroyed the knowledge and the world slowly healed. In others I released it and humanity evolved beyond imagination. But in many, the world burned. The choice was mine, and no choice was clean. One night the tunnel shook. They had found us. Drones flooded the passages. Armed units closed in. No escape. I kissed my sister's forehead and pushed her behind a steel door. "Run," I whispered. "No matter what you hear, keep running." Then I stepped into the light. Bullets slowed in the air around me. Time bent. Energy curved. The knowledge answered my fear, and the impossible became real. The soldiers dropped their weapons. Their machines shut down. Their eyes filled with terror. They saw what I had become. Not a man, not a weapon, but a force. I walked through them untouched and disappeared into the darkness. I knew I could never return to her. My presence would always bring danger. So I chose exile to protect the only family I had left. Years later, stories spread across the world of a shadow that stopped wars, of a ghost that healed dying cities, of a silent guardian that no one could capture. Some called me a myth, some called me a demon, some called me a savior. But my sister knew the truth, that I was still her brother, watching from afar, protecting her from a world that would never understand. Because some secrets are too powerful for humanity, and some sacrifices are too heavy for anyone's soul. This was my fate, to walk alone so the world could live.